Hey guys, Foxy here, and this will be chapter 2 of What If Itsuku Was a Vigilante. We're just gonna hop right into this video real quick, okay? Itsuku's POV. It has been 2 years since the Quark Doctor, and I have been doing okay. Dad has been training me a bit, not so much where I'm exhausted every day, but where you can definitely tell that I have some sort of control over my quirk. So, well, that's it, pretty much, of my life. Oh, I have been growing out my hair, just like Mom. Now it reaches my shoulder, which I'm very happy about. Mom does say it will take a few more years until it can reach the middle of my back. I could be patient. Right now we're in the car. Our car is just a simple car. Nothing too special about it. Mom and Dad right now are in the front seats. They're talking, and they have big, wide smiles. You can see their shining white teeth. I couldn't help but let out my own smile. It wasn't as big as theirs. On special occasions, I'll let out my toothy smile, where I'm so happy I can't help but show my teeth. But at times like this, I have a close-knit smile. I don't really mind how I smile. But for pictures, Dad always says, show them their teeth. And, well, my smile always comes out a bit awkward. Yeah, just one too many teeth for my liking. Oh, and a cool new thing we learned about me was that I have pointy canines. Dad declares them tiger teeth. Really, tiger teeth? They're more or less dragon teeth. Oh, speaking of dragons, I started my own horde. Yep. And Mom found out that I really like books and stealing my dad's socks. My mom said this. What is it with this family or the boys about socks? Socks. What the heck? She sounded so exhausted and done with us, which kind of made me sad, but it was fun. But now, since we're in the car, I could feel a looming dread wash over me like a waterfall, a very dark and sickly waterfall. I wanted to stop them, wanted to ask them to pull over, because I knew something was going to happen, but I only chalked it up to me being paranoid. Dad said I was always too paranoid for their own good, or for my own good. But I should have listened. I should have listened. Because as I was about to speak up, a big black truck rammed right into my mom's seat. At that moment, everything froze. Or, well, it didn't freeze. It more or less slowed down. I could see the glass shatter and fly right into the car. I could see how the door bent. I could see that my mom's leg stuck. And I could see one glass shard. It wasn't particularly long or big, but you could tell it was sharp. And it was going right for my mother's neck. On instinct, I reached out my own little hand and placed it over her neck, which was her artery. I should have known one hand couldn't stand against one flying glass shard, because the glass shard went through my own hand and right into my mother's artery. I could feel the hot, sickly blood wash over my hand. I was disgusted. I was so sick I wanted to throw up my own organs. But I kept my hand clamped around her neck, praying that this will slow down her death. But that didn't work. It really didn't work, even though I grasped onto her neck like a lifeline, because the car started to spin. It was on Dad's side first, then the hood, then Mom's side, then back onto its wheels, but then right back to Dad's side, over and over again, like a sickly, well, sickly ride. What were those things that my mom and dad used to take me on when I was younger? We used to go so high in the sky, but then fall. What were they? Oh, a Ferris wheel. But this ride was much more deadly and scarier. When the car finally stopped, it was right into a building. And I felt so dizzy, felt so sick. But somehow, miraculously, my hand only moved just a bit from my mom's neck. But I could feel and see my own glass shards embedded into my skin like a pincushion. Pincushion. I could feel one right in between my ribs. I I felt fine, sort of, but my head is starting to spin. I couldn't see properly, but I still kept my hand around her neck, praying that the ambulances or the police officers can come and save my mom. My dad looked fine. He only had a few scrapes and some glass shards in him. Nothing too damaging. But my mom, she was critical. Then I could feel my mom's warm hand over mine. Then the glass shard left my hand. I panicked, and I somehow was able to get my other arm out of... Wait, why couldn't I move my arm? I looked down. My arm was broken. Now the pain is registering in my mind. I bit my tongue. I didn't want to scream. I couldn't scream. Because I can feel my own hot, coppery blood pool in my mouth. A few globules of it escaped my lips in the corners, and they started to drip down to my chin and fall onto my shirt. I liked my shirt. It was of All Might and Eraserhead. One in the light, another in the dark, but working for a similar cause. I love Eraserhead. I see him as a braver person. He has to see the darker sides of reality than All Might. All Might just has to save people. Yeah, I know that's not all he does, but a lot more darker things happen at night. That's where evil resides the most, after all. But now my shirt is ruined because of the blood now stains it. I try not to feel sorry. I try not to focus on it. Because now I can feel my mom's cold hands on my own. Or hand, not hands. Either way, I tried to gasp or speak, tried to say anything, but I couldn't. I just stared at her with my large green eyes. She stared right back into mine. She had a soft, close-knit smile. Her eyes crinkled just a bit. I love you, baby. But now, please watch over your father and try to be good for him, okay? Those were her last words as the light died from her eyes and her head slumped to the side. I wanted to scream, but my throat felt like it was clogged. I wanted to cry, but my eyes were dry like the desert. I couldn't do anything. My hand was just there, on her neck, as I just stared. I couldn't move, couldn't do nothing. I was so engulfed in the complicated emotions, I couldn't do anything until the door on my side was wrenched open with a loud screech from metal. Then someone grabbed me. It wasn't, how do I put it? It was comforting, but not what I needed right now, since now I'm soaked with blood from not my own, but my mom's. Well, mostly my mom's. I looked up and saw Eraserhead. You shouldn't be here. It's daytime. He looked at me with soft eyes, and I could have swore I heard something. No, it was his heartbeat. It was beating, not particularly fast, but it was a thrum. There was something in there. Then Eraserhead gave me to someone else. This time it was an EMT. They took me right to the ambulance and started to pull out the glass, I think. I'm not too sure. Everything is starting to go fuzzy now. The only words or thing that was in my head at this time was the words that my mom spoke. Take care of your father. Those are the words that they rewound themselves in my head again and again. Then I just faded. Now I'm in the void. I know it's a dream. I know that I'm unconscious, I think. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I've been teleported somewhere else. Who knows? But when I do wake up, I'm in a white room. It was too white. Too white and bright. I tried to sit up, but a hand was pressed down on my shoulder. Was it my left or right? I couldn't remember what left was or right was. Everything felt so foggy. I could see a nurse. She had blonde hair, brown eyes, creamy skin, and her name was Annabelle. Baby, you need to lay down, alright? You broke your arm, you have a lot of cuts, and you have a major... No, let me look again. She looked at a clipboard. Oh, right, clipboards hold your information. You have a medium concussion. I wanted to nod, but when she said concussion, I knew that would be a detrimental thing to do. I just blinked at her. Okay, your dad is right beside you, okay? Right now he's unconscious. And he's perfectly fine, just a minor concussion and some lacerations. He's going to be fine. But I need you to be careful, okay? Do you want to look into a mirror right now? I wanted to nod, but I couldn't. I think she knew what I wanted, so she pulled up a mirror. It was a small mirror, a handheld one. I looked into it and I wanted to be surprised, but I wasn't. I had bandages covering my entire body, but my face... Wait, why was my face covered? It must have been from the glass. I placed my hand over my left eye. I wanted to ask a question, but she already knew. Somehow, a glass shard was able to cut you. I don't know how, but I think from the spin, the glass, or how did I tell you this? When you were spinning, you changed positions. So the glass, when it moved, it went downwards, or how did I put this? It just cut over your eye. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know. But you still have your eyesight, and you're going to be perfectly fine. Just a minor scar. I nodded, which was a big old mistake. I whined as I wanted to clutch my head. As I moved my right arm, my left arm was broken. Just have some rest, baby, okay? I nodded, which, again, was a big mistake. Just sleep. I just let her whine as she left. And I was left there just to think. It was not a fun time for me to think. All I can remember was the roller coaster of death for me. How the car spun and how the glass just shattered and moved. How the door seemed to bend and break. How everything just happened. I just remember it all like a terrible dream. It kept replaying and replaying in my mind, but I couldn't cry, I couldn't scream, I couldn't do anything but silently beg for it to end, for it to just stop. It didn't. That was until my dad put his hand over mine. Oh, he's awake. I turned my head slightly to stare into his crystal blue orbs. He smiled. It was a close-knit smile, a sad smile. I could see how the light in his eyes weren't as bright as the morning. It was dim and lifeless. But he had love in there. He was looking at me with love. He hugged me. He hugged me so tightly, I thought I was going to break in half. But I didn't say anything. He needed me, right? He needed me. So I hugged him with the one good arm that I had, and hugged him as the best as I could. Soon we separated and laid back down. I think we both needed the silence just to think, to process what just happened. I lost my mom, Dad lost his wife. After a few days, we were out of the hospital. My hand was still in a cast, but everything else was perfectly fine. Dad, well, he started to go to work after his concussion was gone. He started to spend long hours at work. I mean, long hours. He wakes up at 6, comes back at 8. Every day. I go to school most of the time, but Aunt Misky picks me up and drops me off home. No one's there to take care of me. I don't know if I should feel sad or disappointed in my dad, but I chalked it up to Dad going under things. He'd been with my mom longer than I have, and he made more important memories than I did with her. Dad basically lost his mate. He lost his soulmate, and that is no joke. I'm just happy that Dad didn't go off and shoot himself, like other mates do. In this world, a soulmate is everything to you, since it's so rare to get a soulmate. Especially one with a tattoo like yours. He loved her and adored her. But in this world, if you lose your soulmate, you are overcome with such sadness, and you feel physical pain from losing your mate. I don't want to be harsh on my dad. I don't want to be. I'm just happy that he hasn't gone with her. So I pushed down my selfishness and try to make light. I try not to complain. I try not to worry him. So now everything is going normally. Months have passed and my arm is now fully healed, thanks to some quirked doctors. And I've been cleaning the house. Mom usually did this. The house was always spotless. Food was always on the table when Dad came home. And in the mornings, I took up that role. Dad needed some normalcy in his life. So I did the best as I could. I made dinner in the morning, his favorite, eggs and toast with a side of bacon and sausages. American breakfast, as my dad calls it. I like it too. They're really tasty. But he never comes home for lunch. Lunch was always Dad's favorite. He would come home with a chippered mood and hug us. We would watch movies for a good hour while eating some sort of junk food. I always loved that. But now he doesn't come home from lunch, since after the accident. But I try not to complain. I keep my mouth shut and try to make life easier for Dad. Dad always loves cat memes. Oh, well, animal memes. He doesn't mind whatever animal. So at lunch, I send him some. I find the ones that I find funny, and well, I'm pretty sure that Dad will like. But Dad, he never comments. I can see that he looks at them, but never sends any back. It was kind of a family tradition for us. If one sent a meme to the other, we'll send another one to them. And that's how we spent hours sending memes to each other. The only time when we stopped was when our phones died. It was always fun. But now, Dad doesn't do it. I don't mind. I really don't mind. But I do. I really do. A year has passed since the accident, and life has gone normally. Well, as normal as it can get. Dad is still depressed, but I think he's getting better. He doesn't look as tired as before. He looks a bit better, but he still doesn't come home for lunch, and he still leaves early in the morning and comes home late. I don't mind as much as anymore. I've grown used to it. I actually like the solitude. It helped organize my mind. It helped me, well, put my mind back together. It just felt better for me. I also have joined some, well, self-defense classes, since when I get home I'm just too bored. Even though I clean a bunch, it's just boring. So with my dad's permission, I go to a JoJo. Hey guys, Foxy here. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. You know what I mean. If you do know what I mean, you know what I mean. Back onto the story. And when I'm done at the JoJo, I come back around at 7:30 just to make dinner for Dad. And yeah, that has been the routine for a while. I was thinking of joining another something else. I was thinking some type of weapons. Wait, do they even allow that for kids? As I was about to look up if any JoJo's near here will actually allow kids to have weapons, the door opened. I was startled because it was lunchtime right now. I turned around super fast. It whooshed with me. My hair has grown down to my waist. And, well, I put up like how Mom used to. With a few extra things in it. I put some braids on each side of the long hair that isn't tied up. And put some flowers or, cute little accessories. Now, right now, I am staring in the doorway. My dad is coming in with a woman. The woman has beautiful golden hair. No, not golden. Bleach blonde. Tan skin. And brownish eyes. No, they were some type of hazel. Not too certain. Ezekiel, I want you to meet my girlfriend. I wanted to smack him. That is not how you introduce us, man. That's what I wanted to say, but I kept my mouth shut. I know that it has been a difficult year for us, and I know I haven't been the best support. But Izuku, you need a mom. And I need a wife just to keep me grounded. And my girlfriend, Anna, needs someone to help with her kids. Then I noticed two boys behind her. They had black hair with streaks of blonde in them. One had blue eyes, the other had brown ones. They looked older than me. I didn't like the feeling I was getting from them. I could hear a growl and a hiss in the back of my mind. I started to hear them around 4 months ago when I was gained up by a bunch of bullies. In my mind, I could hear growls of disdain and pure anger. And somehow that came out of my voice and scared away the bullies. Thank you, magical voice, I thought in my head. And the voice in the back of my head just growled back, but this time a lot happier. The two boys are sorry, I'm losing my breath here. Whew. Mark and Zuckerberg. I wanted to laugh so damn hard. Literally, Zuckerberg? Hey guys, Foxy here. I don't know where Zuckerberg came from, but we're just gonna roll with it, guys. Where did it come from? Back into the video. I think the two boys noticed that I was trying not to smile, and they glared at me. I still didn't. It didn't work. It really didn't work compared to the types of glares I get from Bakugo Katsuki. God, that is a literal demon child, if I know anything by it. And please be nice to them, Izuku, and try to be understanding, okay? I wanted to, Zuckerberg him out of here. Yeah, I'm going to keep teasing him about that in my mind. Zuckerberg, I'm gonna get a Zuckerberg. Do. I could hear a growl in the back of my mind yet again. This time more of an like amusement and annoyed at the same time. I only huffed in my mind and just tried to keep calm. I will try, Dad, I said, looking downwards. Dad only ruffled my hair. I leaned into it heavily. Then I realized how touch-starved I was. Now I'm kind of angry. I want to bite his hand. Literally, dude, you left your child here. What the fuck? You don't do that. That was the feisty consciousness I have. But right now, I just hummed. Now, I have to go back to work in an hour or so. So why not we all try to get to know each other? Anna, Mark, Zuckerberg, this is Izuku. Currently, he's 7 years old, and, he's mine and Iko's kid. Izuku, this is Anna. She's the same age as me, and these are her two kids, Mark and Zuckerberg. Say hi. I didn't say hi, I only waved. Why should I waste my precious words on them? Yeah, I sound like a brat, but honestly, really, they seem like jackasses. Yeah, I've been swearing a lot more often since I've been watching, how do I put this? Not kid-friendly TV shows. What? A kid was left alone with a TV. What is it going to do next? It's going to watch all the movies that the parents say, no, don't watch. So I find it absolutely funny, for me, no one else needs to know this, that I get to say a bunch of curse words in my head. It is absolutely lovely. Now, the two boys waved back, but they didn't really look too, how do I put this? Excited? Well, neither am I. Maybe they were
forced into this arrangement and now have to live with the embarrassment of having a younger brother. Whoopie doopie doo. Yeah, have been watching too many evil mother stories.
Too much. But now, well, how do I put this? I'm bored and tired. Anna has been talking like a talking box, or what was it again? Whatever the heck. She has been chattering all the damn time. I can't even get my own 2 cents in. And her voice isn't what I would recommend for kids. She sounds like she has been smoking a pack of cigarettes every single day for 30 years. Yeah, her voice isn't the most, um, maiden-like voice you can have. Absolutely not. I only huffed as I stared into my cup of coffee. I started to get into coffee around 5 months ago. Because one night I decided to pull an all-nighter and I was so exhausted. And I heard that coffee should magically get rid of your tiredness. It did, and now, from that time, I was up from 8:30 to 9 p.m. I don't know how that coffee did it, but it did it. But I don't have my coffee black. Yeah, it's just too bitter for me. I put some creamer, sugar, honey into it just to make it a bit sweeter. There is a hint of bitterness into it, but still it is pretty darn good for me. I haven't been speaking too much to everyone. I just been listening, drinking my cup of coffee, while waiting for them to go so I could go upstairs and go through my hoard. Okay guys, I have to leave. But Azuku, Anna, and her kids are going to stay here since they're going to be moving in with us. I could have spat out my coffee at that remark. Are you kidding? How long have you been dating this chick? It probably hasn't even been a full year yet, and you want her to move in with her 2 little gremlins? I say no. No. Before I could voice my complaint, he was already out the fucking door. I want to curse his butt from the moon and back, and probably give a nice good kick to it, yet again. I only huffed as I set my empty mug onto the coffee table and got up. I ran upstairs. I am not spending another moment with that woman and her kids. I know this sounds like I'm being a brat, but honestly, I have creepy vibes from her. She was staring at my dad like she was about to eat him whole. Nope, I am not staying with a cannibal. That is not on my bucket list. To be eaten by a crazy chick. No thank you. As I made it to my door, I quickly opened it, closed it, locked it. And for extra security, I put a chair right under the door handle, so they couldn't move it. I finally felt okay. I looked into my room. It was large. Since my dad and I had dragon tendencies, so we love having our stuff hidden and our hoard, well, being secure. For me, I have a large range of books, from fantasy to biology. I love my books. And that's all I have, really. Books and gold. And not gold, but jewelry. I threw my hoard into the floor. There was a secret compartment in the room, right into the closet. If you move the boxes and find the right hole, you could open that slot up, and that's where I threw all my books and my important stuff. And for the room that you see most of the time, I have a canopy bed with red fabric. I always loved red. Red was such a beautiful color, even though it gave me flashbacks of my mom's blood. I just love red. Red, how Mom described red, was, well, beautiful. Bold and brave, able to walk through a crowd with a smile on their face. That's how Mom described it.
So I try to look past the blood and see the boldness in it. I have pictures of heroes around the room and a lot of family photos around the room. And there's a chandelier. Don't question it, I just love chandeliers. And there was a desk on one side of my room that was a beautiful cherry wood with lots of compartments. And there was a full body mirror right beside it. And that was it pretty much. I had a few stuffed animals, but that was on the bed. And yeah, that was pretty much it for me. I yawned as I got into bed. I was tired. I felt so drained emotionally from all of this.
I was kicked out of the bathroom, okay?
I started to sing just a low, thrumming song. Soon, one of my stuffed animals levitated, and I reached out my hand. I touched its fluffy paw, and my voice went an inch higher. Soon, all of the stuffed animals on my bed were in the air, moving around each other. It was kind of like a dance of some sorts. They weaved in and through each other like a beautiful dance. I loved it, and I kept singing and singing until I was too tired to keep singing and I fell asleep. That didn't last long though, because the door was soon busted the fuck open. I shot right up from bed and exited from my bed and came face to face with. You'll have to find out in the third part, but I'm pretty sure you guys know who it is. But can't wait to see what happens. And yeah, I hope you love part 2. And yeah, we're going to just go out right now. Toodaloo, and geez, my voice is killing me. Bye.